Good morning, Michigan. A very pleasant Wednesday. Let's call it a wonderful Wednesday. And it's a Wildcat Wednesday, too, brought to you by Northern Michigan University. We're live in our American Metal Roost studio. You're welcome to join us down here in downtown Lansing anytime you happen to be in the area. We are just a couple blocks from the Capitol in the Gillespie Group Stadium District building on the Avenue of Michigan. You can't miss us. We have a coffee house attached and a waiting room. Terry Stanton will be joining us in just a couple of minutes to explain how, if you're behind on your taxes, you have a little amnesty period coming up, and you don't even need an excuse. Can it be true? Terry Stanton will tell us. Coming up shortly. 7 minutes after the hour right now, we're going to get back to the politics this morning. But first, you've been hearing an awful lot about the royal wedding and seeing an awful lot about it. We will have full coverage on Friday because it will happen while we're on the air. The future Queen and King of England will walk down the aisle. And you'll see it if you're watching us on Fox 47. You'll hear it if you're listening to us on the radio. I understand lots of people are having parties and breakfasts and brunches in the States because the time difference will make it so that right around 6 a.m. Eastern Time, the wedding will happen. And let's go live to London right now. Jacqueline French is a senior PR manager for Visit London. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I heard late last night, somebody sent me a message that at 3 in the morning there was something going on in Westminster Abbey that looked like it might have been a wedding rehearsal. Had you heard of any gossip like that?
That's right. It was the wedding rehearsal. Obviously, the route has been marked out for some time, but it's, where's everybody going to be standing, the various members of the military, where are the cars going to go. So, yes, the day will go off smoothly, but obviously everything needs a rehearsal.
Why would they do that at 3 in the morning?
Well, obviously, Central London is busy. We've got a short working week this week with the bank holiday that we had on Monday and the one for the royal wedding. But the roads are still busy, so it's done early in the morning, so not to disrupt the usual flow of traffic on a Wednesday morning.
Wow, that is amazing. Now, we are looking at a magazine here, and it's called Mental Floss Magazine, and they have a column that says 10 things about Britain more interesting than Will and Kate. Now, there's a lot of coverage of the wedding, but there are lots of other reasons to come to London, too. So can I run a couple of these by you to see if they're true? Fantastic. Jacqueline French is the PR manager for Visit London. Number one, the cabbies are smarter than Google Maps. Is that true?
Absolutely. You don't become a cabbie without some very hard work, and every cabbie does the knowledge, which takes 2 years, and they will know the route from any 2 points in London, forwards and backwards, the one-way routes, where the roadworks are, off the top of their head. So absolutely. Yeah,
it's amazing. I've been in London cabs, and they're distinctive just by their appearance, first and foremost. Unmistakable in the style. And then when you get in the cabs and you find this little network of streets all through London, and come to find out that they ride around for 2 years on bicycles with a map and with a challenge to find their way around before they're ever given the status of a London cabbie. It's a pretty high-profile position, isn't it?
It's very high profile, and the knowledge is one of the toughest tests that you can take. So hats off to London cabbies.
Terrific. Here's another one. Says the castles are anything but romantic.
Well, I don't know. You can look at that two ways. If you look at something like the Tower of London, it's got an incredible history. It has been a zoo. It has been a fortress. It also has locked up various princes and has seen beheadings. So possibly a bit of that gruesome history makes it not so romantic, but lots of castles are romantic as well.
The pound, this isn't in the magazine, just my own curiosity, but the pound sterling versus the dollar right now, for people who are traveling from the States to London, they might be worried about the price. How does it stack up right about now?
Oh, I haven't seen the latest figures. However, London doesn't have to be expensive. Anyone coming over for the wedding this weekend, obviously all the procession routes are free. There's also a couple of live sites. So Hyde Park and Trafalgar Square are going to be taken over. They've got big screens where everybody will be coming together to watch the wedding, and those are free. And then after all the wedding celebrations, we've got lots of free attractions. So lots of our museums and galleries, from the British Museum to the Tate Modern, are all free. So there's lots of ways to do London without spending a fortune.
Yeah, let's face it. If you just take a cab or get on foot and you walk from Parliament to Big Ben and number 10 Downing Street and the Churchill War Rooms, and you make your way across, and you're going to see so many sites that you've seen on television or read about, so many historic sites that really just hot-footing it around the town. Like you talked about, the Tower Bridge and the Tower of London. I mean, it's one of those things that almost seems dreamlike. And we're quite sure, I think, the wedding will be dreamlike this Friday. Where will you be positioned? I'm sure you got the royal invitation, right?
Well, I think mine still might be in the post.
Right.
But I will be I'll be there hoping to catch a glimpse. Obviously, from our point of view, it's a great opportunity for us to welcome the world's media as well as visitors. So hopefully we'll be sharing the delights of London with the world's media, so we can all talk about it afterwards.
Loads of flights to both Gatwick and Heathrow from Michigan for people who are going to be inspired and going to want to go and see and sort of walk in the footsteps of the procession. And Westminster Abbey, too, where the wedding is taking place. Now, Charles and Di did not get married at the Abbey. They got married at St. Paul's. Is that true?
That's right. They got married at St. Paul's Cathedral. Apparently it has, it can fit kind of more people seated. But, you know, it's a choice of the couples where they want to get married. So there's no fixed rule. If you're a royal, you have to get married there. Although you can only get married in Westminster Abbey if you are a member of the royal family. So that's a lovely perk. It's absolutely beautiful. Obviously, it is open all year round for people that want to go and see it, because it has got an incredible history and some really beautiful things to go and see and sort of connect with the past. So well worth a visit if you're in London.
All right, you're not going to get in the Abbey on Friday, but any other day you can, says Jacqueline.
Absolutely.
French.
No, it's obviously closed before the wedding for all the preparations. It will be screened, so obviously lots of networks are covering it around the world. So we're hoping that, you know, even if you're not coming to London, you can enjoy a bit of royal wedding fever wherever you are and switch on and see the wonders of the procession, Kate's dress, which I'm sure will be a hot topic, as well as the beautiful interior of the Abbey.
What's the best web address for people to visit London?
For more information, you can log on to visitlondon.com.
Visitlondon.com. Enjoy the festivities, and it's very nice to talk to you. We'll catch up again soon.
Thank you.
Jacqueline French with Visit London. There was a rehearsal in the middle of the night, 3 in the morning, London time, a wedding rehearsal in secret while you slept last night. We got it confirmed right there. It's Michael Patrick Shields. Should you have to show your birth certificate to run for office? Seems like a simple question. The answer might be complicated. We'll find out when we get back. Stay with us all across Michigan. It's Michael Patrick Shields.